Hey guys, your boy Eli from the Geek Centurions, and I'm back with my good pal. I don't know what direction he's in right now.
Hello, it's me, Kelvin. Hello.
And we got good old David back, looking good with that pandemic goat
Corona
beard he's
beard.
got on.
Right?
I think we lost him.
Jesus Christ. Like
We good?
I mean, looks good on
Yeah,
it looks good on you. Looks good on you.
it does. It does. Makes me
Yeah.
jealous because I can't grow it like that.
You
I
guys
can't
try,
grow
dude. You
stuff like
guys
that until
try.
at least I'm on 50s or 60s at the very least.
Oh yeah.
I look like
At
I'm in
that
my
point,
early
you're
40s.
gonna be looking like the you're gonna be looking like the wise old Asian man, Kelvin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That wasn't that. Hey, that was that could have been a lot worse than I would have said. I know. I know you can be a
Yeah.
little sensitive about
No,
it.
no, no.
That could
You
have been a lot worse.
you went from stereotype to, like, you were inching ever so closely into the racist category. But the
No, it
stereotype, okay,
wasn't.
you're
I didn't
kind
say
of
anything. I just said you would
no,
be a
no, no,
wise
no, no,
old
no, no.
Asian man.
I know,
No,
but
no, 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 no.
which is why I said you were inching along the borders of, like, right now you're in the stereotype zone.
And this is what I'm saying. I know you're very sensitive to it, Kelvin, but I'm coming from a place of love. I respect you and I love you like a brother, more like an annoying brother, but I respect you. Listen, Kelvin,
You gotta keep it PG. So you gotta keep
hey
it
man,
PG.
you gotta keep it PG. David's the kid in the relation, the kid in the situation. Mommy, daddy, don't fight.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get started. So we haven't really had a full conversation about Phase Four of Marvel, especially since
Marvel.
a lot of stuff has been pushed back due to the pandemic. So
COVID-19.
now we're gonna have to talk about some of the stuff that we have to deal with. Quick question, guys: can you hear that lawnmower?
There's a lawnmower.
No.
Okay, so it's just me. Okay,
I was
so
like, what
don't
lawnmower?
worry,
Can you
I'll
hear
edit
my
that out.
microwave?
Yeah.
Nah, okay.
Do you hear my sleeping my sleeping family? Do you hear the walls? No, I'm just kidding. No, but so we're gonna be going through most of the Phase Four, and we're gonna be
Yeah.
starting off with the films because those are the ones that actually have the least. So we're gonna be talking about each of the films that are coming out, and after that, we're gonna be talking about the TV shows that are gonna be somewhere in between the movies. But we're just gonna start with the films because again, there's not that many of them.
Hmm.
And yeah, we're just each gonna give our thoughts on them. And actually, last I checked, they actually grew in some. So yeah, let's get started. You guys ready to
Yeah.
talk about some Marvel movies?
I have a quick
All
comment.
right.
I did see on Twitter, I think yesterday, that most likely movie theaters might open later this summer. So I'm pretty sure that we most likely see movies sooner than
Hmm.
later. So hopefully it's not by the end of December because I don't want to wait that long for you see.
All right. So let's
Alright.
start off with the most obvious film that's coming out that we all know about is Black Widow, which is a prequel to some of the movies. It's set between Civil War and Infinity War. So I don't think there's much
Hmm.
for us to talk about because it's going to be coming out soon, and we all kind of know what's going to
Yeah.
happen soon. Essentially, it's Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, coming back. Well, not coming back, and is a weird way to say because she's actually still dead. Let's see how long that lasts. And
Yeah. Right.
you're gonna say something, Kelly?
Huh?
No, I saw you reacting. That's what I thought.
Oh, no, no, it's okay. It's okay. You're good.
Yeah, no, because there's a little bit of delay here and there with the video, but essentially, it's gonna be going over her backstory a bit while also introducing some old characters, other known Black Widows, also Red Guardian and Taskmaster. So,
Basically,
Kelvin, you start us.
basically
Can you
her.
start us off?
Yeah, basically her family, so to speak.
What?
Her, her sister, which is wait, what? Everything good?
There's lag.
We're lagging here.
Okay, like video or
Yeah, there's
sound?
lag.
Like video or sound?
Kind of both.
Okay. How about now? Is everything good
Um,
now
I think
or?
it's kind of hard to tell because your lip flap isn't syncing up.
It's not syncing up. Okay.
I think you're good now.
Okay.
So you were saying?
Good now. Okay, so going into the Black Widow film, we basically, like Eli mentioned, takes place right in between Civil War and then Infinity War, right? We're diving more into so to speak, Black Widow's personal life. She goes back to her family because now she needs help. And her sister is also a Black Widow, was trained as a Black Widow,
And mother.
and mom was trained as a Black Widow as well. And then her father was basically a former Red Guardian, and then is now trying to get back into the game, so to speak. And it's this really deep story in which the fans are going to be able to see out in public, and see how Natasha's story eventually unfolds and will play a role into into the scene that is and will be you know uh, Infinity War will take place afterwards. So yeah, I'm intrigued.
All right.
I'm very intrigued to see what happens
What is
with
the name of
Natasha's
the?
story.
I'm sorry. What is the name of the program? The Red Room or something like that?
The
Yeah, the Red
the,
Room.
Yeah, the Red
the Red
Room.
Room, yeah.
So I'm guessing Natasha and her sister were the last
Yeah.
Black Widows before it was like corrupted or something.
Something like that. They've changed it from the movies. Like in the comics, the Red Room is still kind of like the Red Room, but also there's this family relationship that you see Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow having isn't really, last I checked, it wasn't really in the comics. Like all the stuff you're seeing is more for the movie than it is in the actual comics. So like, because I could have sworn she was married, she or a version of Black Widow or a different person who took up the mantle of Black Widow was married to Red Guardian. So it's like you're not getting the whole actual origin on her with her yet. But no, yeah, it's they're going through the Red Room, and apparently Taskmaster is involved. And yeah, David, your thoughts on this film before going into actually watching it?
Um. So I don't know who's directing the movie. I think it's a woman, no? Like
It is a
some like a female
woman.
director.
Let me double check. But you can keep going with your statement while I'm checking.
Cause okay,
Directed by Kat Shortland.
Catlin, what?
Yeah,
Kate
that's the one I
Kate
was looking for.
Shortland. I'm sorry, Kate Shortland. Kate Shortland is
Kate
directing
Shortland.
this film.
Like
Hmm.
I don't really know much about like her
Thank you,
as a
Dan.
specific director because I've never heard of her. But I feel like the director has a lot of control, and like the Russo brothers, as far as I know, that he's been like they've made like a bunch of Marvel movies. Black Widow, like quite frankly, like some Marvel movies, action wise, they're really good, but story wise, they kind of lagged a bit, right? In terms of like villains, and I think the biggest villain we've had so far is Thanos. So I guess I want to see
It would be Thanos, Killmonger,
Killmonger.
Dave
And
Grohl's. Why am I forgetting his name? The bad guy from Civil War, Zemo. That's around phase 3 started when we started getting
Zemo.
more
Baron Zemo.
developed villains. Zemo, yeah.
Hmm.
And so I also feel like
Mysterio
Baron
too.
Zemo. I feel like yeah, I feel like Baron Zemo, like his storyline is still ongoing in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I feel like there's so much more to see from that
Yeah, and
specific
we'll
character.
get to that one.
Yeah, so I guess it's like
Hmm.
Like Black Widow, I say she's a good character. I've seen her like I thought she was badass in the Winter Soldier, right? But I feel like
Yeah.
like Taskmaster. How is this? I feel like it's gonna have to be story wise in order for me to actually be like, hey, this movie's gonna be badass because she has to redeem herself before she dies in Endgame. So like I really want to see a solid story, like a solid reason why she goes back to the Avengers, like post
Hmm.
Infinity War. Why
Yeah.
does she follow that? Why does she sacrifice herself? There's got to be a big reason in this movie. So I feel like this movie is gonna like I feel like Black Widow. I don't think it's just a prequel. I honestly think they're setting something up, something that leads maybe like a new Black Widow, like Yelena Belova. I think that's the other character, but there's gotta be much more. Maybe
Yeah,
Taskmaster.
I've been hearing rumors. Yeah, I've been hearing rumors that supposedly this is gonna set up the Thunderbolts, and I'm like, no, I was continuing what David said. He was one of the rumors that I've heard was that they're supposed to
Hmm.
be bringing in the Thunderbolts, who are
Who are
Marvel's
they?
answer to the Suicide Squad. Well, it's like I said, they're Marvel's answer to the
Mm.
Suicide Squad. They're usually like villains, and the last time I've heard about the Thunderbolts, they were led by Bucky. But like
Mm.
usually they're kind of like they follow the orders of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, the guy who's always up against Hulk. So usually, that's kind of like the deal we're gonna probably have to go into when that
Well,
eventually shows up.
uh, in the comics, as far as I know, doesn't Black Widow have like a relationship of sorts with Bucky?
Yeah, it's she and Bucky dated.
But is there
They tangoed before.
but is there like a storyline in specific that could make that's a good idea. If you're telling me that they could be introducing Thunderbolts or whatever, you're thinking about Bucky
Hmm.
there, and it's a Black Widow movie, so how could that tie all together?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to do now that we know that Scarlett Johansson's take on Black Widow is dead. But maybe the
Yeah.
next one will. Okay, so moving on to the next film, we have the Eternals, and David, this is the one you're the most excited for. Am I correct, David?
Yeah, Eternals. Yeah,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
you've been reading this one, and essentially, this is kind of explaining the Eternals. It's like explaining Ancient Aliens to someone who's never seen Ancient Aliens, because that's essentially what it is. It's basically Marvel's take on that whole Chariots of the Gods kind of thing, where essentially the Celestials came to Earth a long time ago and experimented on humans that led to the Deviants, the Eternals, and just humans as we know them, and also led to essentially what could be the introduction of the mutants. And we're getting, well, from what I understand of this movie, is that it's going to be set in now times, following the Neil Gaiman book, where they all kind of reincarnate or whatever into their modern day people. We have a lot of actors in this, a lot of well known people. I know Kit Harington is in it, and I'm forgetting his name, but he's also another Stark boy. And yeah, I'll see if I can get a little more information as I let Kelvin explain his thoughts on this film. Kelvin, let's hear your thoughts.
Um. So I can't really say much on this film, but all I can say is that
Kelvin,
I
I'm gonna say
am.
this right now. No one, not many people can.
Yeah. I, I don't really know much of, like, even in the comics of the
Not many
Eternals.
people do.
Yeah, of the Eternals, but what I can say is that, I am intrigued to see, what kind of film will this set out to be. This will be like a completely new take. It's not your average typical, like, like Marvel superhero, like all the ones we've seen so far, where each of the heroes either have their own solo film, or there's one film, or there's films that brings everybody together. I.e., Infinity War, Civil War, and
This
brought
is
everybody
essentially
together. So
another kind of way to do Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah, okay, yeah, I guess, because I have seen both. I have seen, okay, in that case, then I have seen both Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but I am intrigued to see how this will play out. That's all I gotta say on
Hmm.
my piece. Again, since you
Kelvin,
say not much people know about it.
I'm gonna let you know,
Uh huh.
Kelvin. This is good. This is probably gonna be their phase for Guardians, because Guardians was low tier knowledge. Like, you had to be in the know to know
Mm-hmm.
about the Guardians. Not
Yeah.
saying they were popular even amongst when they were out. I'm talking about they were like that C tier level of heroes that everyone knew about, but no one really cared about. Now take the Eternals.
Yeah.
It's the bottom of the jar, but that's the bottom of the bottle, man. That's where they're at. No one really knows or cares about them.
Jeez.
That's kind of the sad
Yeah.
truth. But Kelvin,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Kelvin. David, tell us your thoughts on this film, because I know you're the most excited one. I know you read the Neil Gaiman book.
Well, I'm excited because X-Men, basically. You have the Eternals, which are shit, I forgot. But like, you have the Eternals, and then you have the opposite of the Eternals. They created two types of three. What is it?
The
Two or
Deviants.
three types? They basically created uh, humanity as we know it, and we have the evil beings, and you have the good beings, which ended up evolving to what we
The
know as
Deviants.
modern mutants. So I'm very excited for the Eternals because the fact that you have the X-Men and they're coming,
I don't know.
and that's all I gotta say.
That is one of the supposed ways the X Men came about, through their experiments of early humans into
Hmm.
what they are. Um,
Yeah,
to give my thoughts is that this is probably going to be
X-Men,
their most challenging film. Oh, you're saying, David?
X-Men for life. Yeah, yeah.
Say again?
Maybe you can see challenging because how much material could they actually cover in one movie? Like I guess it's what's the point of the movie itself? Like you're supposed to have the Eternals coming back to Earth to fight the Deviants, I believe they're called. No.
Yeah. I don't even know that much about it. I know one of the big villains are the Celestials, because those are the guys that essentially created them. But usually, from what I understand, whenever the Eternals are around, that means the Celestials are nearby, and if that probably means something's going on. So they say that maybe because of the snaps that have been happening, that's what brought them back, the whole Eternals. But I don't even know yet. We have to wait and see. But for me, as I was saying, because following through a Zoom call is really difficult to listen to most of it.
Yeah.
Um, for me, Eternals is going to be like their more challenging films to pull off. They have a lot of interesting cast members. They have, Richard Madden, as I said earlier, Gemma Chan, Camille Camille Nanjiani, who got attention for his abs because he was working so hard for this movie. Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie, Kit Harington. They're all going to be in this film. This is essentially an ensemble cast. Um, how they go about it, I don't know. Oh, that's probably the one I'm most interested on. I'm not excited for it, but I'm willing to see how they go about this. Could be another Guardians of the Galaxy one where like no one knew about these characters, but now all of a sudden they're like household names because no one knew about anyone. Like no one, when Guardians came out, I was like, this is gonna fail because no one's gonna take a fucking talking tree and a talking raccoon seriously, and I was wrong. Have to fucking eat my words.
I still don't take them seriously.
But now let's.
They do have a little food.
All right, let's move on to the next film.
Got this
This
cool
one's
little
Kelvin's
food.
gonna be his favorite film.
Ah.
Oh, you got the rocket.
Nice.
Nice.
It's like a tree and a raccoon. Yeah, I got it from Loot Crate. I stopped getting Loot Crate because I was getting a bunch of
Nice.
shit. I'm like, no. I stand, whatever that
Yeah.
means.
So moving on to the next movie, we got Kelvin's most anticipated one, which is
Yes.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which
Yes.
is interesting because how they're going about it, judging a little bit of the lore of Shang-Chi. That apparently it's going to involve the Mandarin, and supposedly it's
Which,
from
by the way, I
people
was
have been
very like
saying
I actually
it's
just
going to be like a
yeah.
James Bond. Essentially, it might be going in a way of James Bond kind of film. So have you ever seen like probably more of the modern day Bond films like Casino Royale, Spectre,
Gotcha.
any of the ones? Yeah. Have you seen any of those? That's most likely what a lot of people feel that this new Shang-Chi movie is going to be about. But Kelvin, I'll let you speak your thoughts on this film, even though I'm pretty sure you said you never read a Shang-Chi book in your life.
I have not. No, I've never read a Shang-Chi book in my life, but because there is now the whole yes, one of the very few Marvel Asian superheroes now on a big silver screen that I'm very excited to see about. I'm actually not gonna set my expectations that high as you guys might think it is, just because
Considering the last time you talked about it, you did give it a high expectation.
I did, but the reason why I'm actually bringing it back down now is because I don't want to set myself up for disappointment, because Shang-Chi, like uh let's see, actually let me rephrase that. The last film to have an all Asian lead cast was it's unrelated to it's unrelated to Marvel Universe, but the last time to have an all Asian lead cast was Crazy Rich Asians. I had set my expectations at that time to like mid-level, and I was actually not that like, yes, I did dig the representation that, and also that it was an all Asian cast film, but it was not as great as I expected to be. So in the case for Shang-Chi, yes, again, I have the same opinions again, but this time I'm actually gonna lower my expectations, so that, because knowing the possibility of whether it does really well and completely exceed expectations, or it doesn't do as well. I am also very excited to. Okay, one thing I am excited about though is the cast that they're bringing in. So of course, Simu Liu as the Shang-Chi as the lead role, and Tony Leung as the Mandarin. Now, if you guys don't know who Tony Leung is, he's a legendary. He's like modern day legendary. Was it martial artist, stunt actor? He's played in a lot of very notable martial arts type films.
Sounds like you're
and
hyping him up
he's
too much.
been in movies, starred along with other. I mean, just like the history of behind Tony Leung's film history, and how he's brought he's breaking a lot of
I'm just joshing you,
stereotypes
Kelvin.
when it
Calm
comes
down.
to, which is
Hey,
why
I
I
know
keep
this gets
going,
out
and
of
I
topic,
completely.
but I kind of want to ban me right now.
You what?
Hey, ban
He said
me?
he wants to bond me right now.
I
Okay,
know a good place to
so
get one, but yeah.
going back onto it, that was so random. Going back into it though, like I said, Tony Leung's past history and what he'll bring into Shang-Chi, that I am intrigued to see, how that will all play out, because they announced him as the Mandarin, not like that cheap knockoff we got in Iron Man 3, when that one guy tried to pretend to be the
Hold up
Mandarin.
now.
And
I'll fight you.
and also what's up?
I'll talk about
Yeah,
it later,
just
but I
Just fighting
stand
who?
by the whole reveal that of the Mandarin in Iron Man 3 was actually pretty great. I agree that it's stupid, but it's like, you gotta admit that was pretty
It
good.
was so dumb.
That was a pretty good
It
reveal.
was so dumb, but it's like, oh my god. Like,
No, it wasn't, Kelvin. It was great. It was great. Ben Kingsley, that was amazing. It was hilarious.
Jesus. Like, anyways, okay, getting back into it, and then the other two cast members they just recently announced, but they haven't revealed their roles, but they recently announced is Aquafina and Ronnie Chiang, which nobody knew about these
Also,
guys
Rosalina
until...
Chow and Florian Montano has also been confirmed.
Okay, I have no idea who those guys are, but again, this being right. This being an all Asian cast, once again, I am excited to see that, once again, I'm glad that they're bringing, Asian representation on the screen, and I'm very excited to see how this plays out. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
All right, David, give us your thoughts on the Shang-Chi movie that will eventually come out next year, probably.
Kind of feel like it's going to deliver on absolutely everything that Iron Fist tried to be, simply because it has a bigger budget. And, I mean, it's supposed to be like, isn't it supposed to be kind of like as big as the Infinity Stones? You have 10 rings, Isn't it gonna have to?
Kind of. They're not as up there. They're not as up there.
Size-wise,
the 10 rings themselves, like, they're kind of they're all basically.
Size of the plot.
I'll get to that. You continue.
Oh, me? Okay. So.
Oh, you want me to explain?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so depending on which version of the 10 rings you want to go with, they're not as powerful as the Infinity Stones, but essentially they each hold like the sort of magical power that might actually just be aliens instead of actual magic. Like the Mandarin is like this weird. He's either does magic or he has alien powers. That's just it. It's one of the two. And he's always been like the Iron Man villain, but like no one really uses him that much recently. But it's 10 rings, essentially different mystical powers or aliens or one of the two. It's either magic or it's alien tech. It's one of the two. I can't really say which is the real one, but just it's different versions, different ones.
That's all I gotta say,
David.
There are different versions. I'm interested I'm kind of intrigued about the alien one. What does that mean?
It means that the one I remember is that they kind of stole off a dead alien. Like that's all alien technology, and like I can't remember the reason why, because Mandarin was always that one character I just kind of like really didn't care about. Because to be honest, Iron Man wasn't really that big of a character. Like it wasn't until Robert Downey Jr. came in and made him like more better. Like everyone just didn't care about Iron Man, except for his alcoholism.
What if think about it? What if we have Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming? When you have the that post Avengers, the first event in New York City, how you have all these people cleaning up all the aliens. I forgot
the Chitauri thing. Yeah.
Yeah, what if
I could see that?
What if they connected back to like the Legend of the Ten Rings, this alien tech that was recovered from the what is it called, the Chitauri?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Avengers. Like you have alien technology even in what is it? Wakanda. That's alien technology.
Yeah, you're right. It's always been aliens, bro. I'm telling you.
Mining of the vibranium and stuff. But I think about it. If they connect the Legend of the Ten Rings more towards the cosmic side of Marvel, I'm curious as to what could that possibly lead to? Like, do you have any alien character, more cosmic superheroes?
Well, here's the thing, David. Mandarin himself hasn't really done much cosmic things. He's always been kind of like, I don't want to say evil Doctor Strange, but kind of like evil Doctor Strange most of the time. Even when it was like alien tech, he wasn't really as big. He's not a Mandarin isn't a big threat. He's a big threat for some characters, but not the big threat like say a Thanos or a Doctor Doom.
So I know that he may not seem as much of a big character in the comics, but think about it. They can rewrite him, and with proper writing, you can like really like give him
More of a role.
more of an edge to that character. Like you said, Iron Man wasn't ever a really popular character until the Avengers came along.
Oh no.
And now, boom, he's like the biggest thing ever. So I really have hopes that this Mandarin character, they really fucked him up, honestly. In Iron Man, like
I was like, by it, bro. See, here's the thing, bro. He was never supposed to be Mandarin, so how can they fuck up what was never supposed to be Mandarin?
Yeah, but
they already teased the concept. I'm like,
they've teased the concept, but like that's how they get you, bro.
Marvel
that's how they
movie
get you.
time is too precious in order for you to revisit a character that was basically destroyed in Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 was bad. That was like my least favorite Iron Man movie. Mm-hmm. Right? Wasn't it an Iron Man 3? Or was it Iron Man 2?
I don't know. I would say Iron Man 2 was
out of the three, for me, Iron Man 3 was not like compared to the first two.
I would say Iron Man
wasn't
2.
As good.
I'd say Iron Man 2. It was trying to be Demon in the Bottle without being Demon in the Bottle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, to who? Me or David?
To you, Eli. The whole Demon in the Bottle concept.
Do you know what Demon in the Bottle is?
What's up?
Me?
So Demon in the Bottle isn't a concept, it's a storyline in which Iron Man had to deal with his alcoholism. Because it was literally killing him. And that's essentially what's happening in Iron Man 2 with the whole... And it's like, it's kind of just happens out of nowhere. It doesn't like naturally happen like it does in Demon in the Bottle, because in the comics, Tony Stark is a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it was bad.
Yeah.
Bad. Well, that's why I kind of liked Iron Man 3. It was just more like dumb Shane Black fun.
Mm.
So yeah. If you don't know who Shane Black is, Die Hard.
Shane Black?
Yeah.
Die Hard?
Yeah, the guy who made
Shane Black
on Die Hard. Yeah, the guy who worked on Die Hard. You never seen that movie, have you, Kelvin? Please don't disappoint me.
What? Die Hard?
With Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Please don't disappoint
Bruce Willis.
me,
yeah, I have.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, don't disappoint me, Kelvin. And like you told me you never seen RoboCop.
And I still consider it a family Christmas movie. And if people say it's no otherwise, y'all can fight me. It's a family Christmas movie because it was Christmas.
It's set in Christmas. Fuck off. Now let's move on to the next film. Let me give my thoughts on Shang-Chi. So they're kind of they're redoing the whole another redoing of what the original characters is. Because from what I understand, they're making the Mandarin Shang-Chi's dad. Well, in reality, Shang-Chi's dad was Fu Manchu back when they owned the rights to that character. So literally, the racist character was Shang-Chi's dad.
Oh, that's wonderful. Of course it was.
Yeah. But now they've changed it to Mandarin because, like, that's more appropriate.
I mean, come on.
Listen, I'm not arguing. That makes sense.
Even in the name itself, Fu Manchu. Like when you say it fast,
I know, Kelvin. I know.
I'm glad they did.
I know.
I'm glad they did.
I know. Yeah. And it's gonna be weird. It makes sense that they said, because they're saying it's gonna be more like a James Bond kind of thing, which makes sense because Shang-Chi came out at a time where literally everyone was super into Kung Fu. He came out at the same time as Iron Fist, which is another response to the whole Kung Fu craze that happened in like the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
where everybody was kung fu fighting.
Yeah. Of course. Nice.
Hmm.
Oh, this is interesting
I'm just
because
waiting
they
for
said
someone to say as fast as lightning.
originally the what you call it, was it they were supposed to do a potential television series back then when then actor Brandon Lee, son of Bruce Lee, was still alive. They were supposed to do it, but but unfortunately due to the onset accident, it never happened. Like, but he was supposed to play the role of Shang-Chi. They were supposed to do like I guess a 90s television series spin, but it never happened, because of his unfortunate death. So
I mean, I think there's a lot of. I think I remember hearing a lot of different reasons, but I think that's the number one. I mean,
mhm.
Brandon Lee as Shang-Chi, that makes so much sense.
It does, absolutely. And him in The Crow, oh geez, that was fantastic.
Another comic book movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh hey,
Listen, Crow 2 and 3 are the only good ones. 4 and 5 can suck a good one. Someone who's read the books and loved them and likes the movies.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next film.
Hey,
So I was saying, like, there's a lot of changes, but it makes sense because Shang-Chi was made in the time where a lot of that stuff was common.
mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, like his dad was the Fu Manchu. You can't do that in 2021, buddy. That Fu Manchu is his own character.
Yeah.
Mandarin is his own character. They're two different people. They're
Okay.
just erasing the Fu Man out and just making Mandarin Shang-Chi's dad.
So pretty much no Fu Manchu, but Mandarin okay. Pretty much.
I like how you commented on me saying some
Yeah.
racist stuff but you are okay with you do it.
Hey, it's okay because I'm Asian. It's okay. I can't. You
That's
can't.
okay. We're gonna talk about this after the episode. We just this ain't the time and place to do that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, it's all been fun and dandy, boys. But I actually gotta head out. It's my boss just texted me. It's like, hey, can you come in earlier? I'm like, all right. So I'm gonna head out.
Hey man, you gotta make that deal. You gotta make that deal, Kelvin.
I gotta provide the dough and all that. But it's been fun,
You got a
fellas.
family to
I'm
feed.
gonna dip out, but yeah, sure. But I'm gonna head out, everyone.
Don't worry, Kelvin.
Yeah.
You'll be with us in spirit.
All right. I'm gonna head out, everybody. It's been great, but David and Eli are gonna take over the rest of the podcast from here. So I will see you guys later.
Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna miss you, Kelvin.
Alright,
Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
Kelvin. Be safe. Wear a mask. Don't touch people.
All right.
now-
So now that he's gone, we can have fun. I'm just kidding.
This is still recording.
I know.
We're not gonna be talking.
he knows it's a joke. I love having Kelvin on. He's a great host. He's a great co-host. He's a funny guy. We have great banter. But essentially, now that we're done talking about Shang-Chi, let's move on to the next film that they have coming out, which is finally confirmed after so much struggle. We're apparently getting Spider-Man 3 now.
Spider-Man 3 next year? Yes.
So that's what
December.
that's what it's telling me, David. That's what it's telling me.
Spider-Man 3 next summer? So Doctor Strange into Multiverse
Fair
of
enough.
Madness is pushed till November. Okay. Okay, now that I think about it, it was supposed to there was like a schedule change, and Doctor Strange was supposed to come out on May 5th or something, like around May 6th. But they pushed it because they had apparently Sony was working on Spider-Man 3. And they did something, and for some reason they
And
actually
also
had
the
to
whole
push-
director thing.
Wait, what? Oh yeah,
The whole
my God,
changing
yes.
of directors.
I love Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi is amazing. He should.
Yeah, we're
fucking
gonna get
direct
there, David.
Spider-Man.
We're gonna get there. Just
He should fucking direct.
oh yeah, we're gonna get there, David. But first, we gotta talk about actual Spider-Man 3.
I don't know what
We don't know that much about it. But it's apparently happening.
Huh?
We don't know much about Spider-Man 3, but apparently it's happening.
Yeah. Well, after the events of Spider-Man Far From Home, we do know that Mysterio, he's still alive, right? He's
Oh no, Mysterio's gone. Well, he could be alive. I don't know.
I I just know that he's alive. He's not done. He's
I feel
Mysterio.
like
He
he's not
plays
done.
tricks, so
Hmm.
you
Fair
know that.
enough.
And now people know who
Or
Spider-Man
Mysterio can
is.
live through.
What?
Mysterio can live through like his little posse. They can just keep making it seem like he's alive.
Yeah. Oh. Other than that, like it really is an open. Well, the Far From Home storyline was badass. It's like one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I say it's right next
Yeah, it's up
to
there.
Spider-Man 2 from Sam Raimi.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, and Far From Home are probably the best ones.
Yeah, I'd say Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Verse. Those are like my favorite Spider-Man
Mhm.
movies.
Oh yeah,
Homecoming was it was alright. Maybe I have to rewatch it. I feel like
it was.
The Vulture character was pretty awesome. I just feel like kind of needed more. I don't know. Like I
Mhm.
wasn't feeling it.
It
But I don't
felt
know why.
it felt like it was them showing, hey, we can do Spider-Man. We can do a teenage Spider-Man. Just trust us, guys.
Yeah,
And you know that it came out pretty okay, pretty good. I actually would say that. And
they
then
were just kind of
they
like
knocked it out of the
showing.
park
Yeah,
with
you're right.
Far From Home.
They were
They
showing
knocked it
what
out
they
with Far
can
From
do with
Home, and then
Spider-Man, and this is the direction they're going towards. You know, and I
mhm.
kind of feel like yeah, like the Spider-Man movies, as far as we know, Homecoming happens. Then, Infinity War, Spider-Man dies, and then he comes back
Mhm.
in Endgame, and now he has Far From Home, and I feel like maybe Spider-Man 3 is gonna be darker, because Spider-Man has seen some shit.
Maybe.
Like, maybe there's gonna be something. Yeah,
I
like,
mean,
because I do know for a fact that since it's like a collaboration with Sony, they do definitely want to see him cross over with Venom. So maybe we may see Venom. We may see a reference of Venom. Because there's a Venom 2 movie on the way too.
who
On
knows?
Sony side.
Spider-Man's in a weird place. We don't really know what's going to be happening on with him.
And
But
another thing that I know.
yeah, let's.
Sorry, what?
Mhm.
Another thing that I know.
Oh no, I'll let you finish before we move on to the next one.
Yeah. Another thing that I know from Spider-Man is that again you have a scheduling situation. So Spider-Man, Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness, that was supposed to have premiered next year on May 6th. Like around, it's supposed to
Hmm.
come out early in the summer because apparently it's supposed to be like a movie that's the size as it's an Avengers movie basically because it's supposed to show like a bunch
Yeah,
of characters. It's supposed to be a massive movie, but they actually had to push that towards November or later in the fall of next year because Spider-Man, the production had to stop because they were waiting on something on Sony's side. So they
they're
can't
waiting
really
on the
for some
okay
reason
from
they just
Sony.
cannot move on with Doctor Strange without Spider-Man. Huh?
They were well. The Doctor Strange thing is, like I said earlier, it's the whole director thing and the fact that Spider-Man was being literally fought over between Disney and Sony
No,
until they
it's not only
eventually
that.
came to agreement
It's
with them too.
story wise. Yes, they had to pick a different
Oh,
director
story wise,
for Doctor Strange, but Spider-Man is apparently like it should. There's like it's a plot wise. Maybe Spider-Man does not appear in Doctor Strange,
hmm
or maybe Spider-Man ends and Doctor Strange begins. There's like I don't know. There's
hmm
a concept of the Spider-Man movie, and Doctor Strange, that are supposed to be together, and for that reason, they actually had to hold on. So I think they picked Sam Raimi. That was in talks, but I think that was way before they actually decided to push Spider-Man. Because I think I also read somewhere that
hmm
they're thinking of bringing in Daredevil into the movie. Why? Because he made it a lawyer in his storyline because of what happened in Far From Home. So I think my main point here is that you have Into the Multiverse of Madness, which you have like a bunch of dimensions of different characters. Spider-Man might just be one of them because it's basically an Avengers level movie, kind of like Civil War, because you have House of M, you have Wanda, you have all these characters. So I'm pretty sure that
Mhm.
we're gonna see Spider-Man there, and we may see like different
There
versions
there
of
has to
him.
be a certain level of, when you're talking about the multiverse, there has to be a certain level of importance.
Yeah. So I don't know, like
Yeah.
I feel like Spider-Man 3 is gonna be darker. If it premieres on May, then what else? You have a wait. We now have a bunch of movies that are coming up from Marvel next year. So I don't know. Maybe this Spider-Man movie will not follow up into the Multiverse of Madness, or it will. I'm not sure at this point anymore because they pushed the Eternals. The Eternals was supposed to come out in
Hmm.
November. Black Widow was supposed to come out
Well, they
last
pushed it
month.
because of COVID,
Yeah,
though.
I know. No, yeah, but still, you just really
Oh,
never know. Like, it
where
could
they
still
fall
use
into
time
the
to,
storyline. Yeah.
yeah, in the sequence.
All right, let's move on to the
So,
yeah. All right, let's move on to the next movie. So Taika is back with another Thor movie. This is the fourth Thor film that we're getting, which is Love and Thunder. And you know, not much is known. Like this and the next movie, not much is known for what they have. All we know is Taika is back, and they're introducing Jane Foster as female Thor.
Taika
So
Waititi,
I'm
Love and
I'm
Thunder.
looking forward to it. I like Taika. What about you, David? Huh?
Taika Waititi, Love and
Yeah,
Thunder.
I love him.
That's the name of the movie.
I'm excited
Yeah,
for that one.
I like him.
I know.
I'm
That's what I said.
watching.
I said that.
Have you ever watched the show? Huh? Yes. Have you ever seen the show called What We Do in the Shadows on FX?
It's been on my recommendations, and I'll be sure to check it out as soon as I'm done with Legion.
You're watching Legion?
I just finished watching the first episode the other day.
Do you like it?
It's trippy.
It's fucking
It's
trippy.
trippy. It's
I,
like I had to rewatch it again because I was in the middle of playing a game.
yeah.
Like sometimes I like to have noises in the background, and I like to play games. But I was like, I can't I can't do that because there's so much stuff that you have to like watch and pay attention to. That
Yeah.
no, yeah,
Like I
it's
started
Legion's a good show. Like
like I get so into it and I hear my name, David. David, wake up, David. I'm like, what the fuck? It's a good show. It really is. It's like the
it's
same
a good
level
show.
as Watchmen. By the way, I do have the graphic novel. I don't know. I was gonna. I I let it off right
Yeah.
now. I'm supposed to be reading it because I really want to watch the show, which I have not. But yes, it's the same level. It's really good and it's trippy. David Haller from the X-Men. He's trippy. Nothing is ever real. It's very trippy,
Hmm.
so be ready for it. But the
So
show
so
itself
just to
is
bring it back, David, just to bring it back to Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi, he's in it, and we
Taika
both
Waititi.
just agreed that Taika is
Yeah.
probably one of the best directors out there right now.
Oh yeah, I like him. Uh,
So
Ragnarok for me, that was it's because he has like a sense of comedy that maybe we just don't really we don't like.
mhm,
I I think Deadpool is funny, but it's too raunchy. No, Thor
yeah,
Ragnarok, it's funny, but it's
yeah,
too sarcastic. It's kind of like a very different sense of humor
mhm,
that my brothers didn't like Thor Ragnarok. When I saw
mhm,
Thor Ragnarok, I was thinking, oh, it's Ragnarok. This is like gods fighting each other. I thought this movie's gonna be badass, and I was
yeah,
like, sorta like, like it was like an 8 out of 10 for me. But at the same time, he did a really good job,
mhm.
and I watched it a couple of times, and it's a good movie. And now he's coming
I
back with Love and Thunder, and
I
his
love
director.
the look of Ragnarok. The look of Ragnarok. There are, like I said it before, there's probably like two or three scenes where like if you just pause it, dude, that's like an album cover right
Cinematic,
there. You can see
like
that being like an album
a
cover for like
painting.
this metal band or whatever. Yes, like when the dragon's chasing him, or when he's just coming down with the lightning on the bridge. That was like with the Led Zeppelin's "Immigrant Song." I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, that was me. That was me.
Yeah, I like. I actually think I really wanted to see more of Hela because I like, man, she's
Yeah,
gorgeous and she's badass and she's the goddess of death. I really thought she was gonna appear in Infinity War because well, Thanos is in love with death, something they never did. So I kind of hope I see her again, maybe in Love and Thunder. And
yeah.
I don't know, please, like you want to, I guess maybe I feel like Taika Waititi. Um, it's a Marvel movie. It's PG-13, but if you ever do check out What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, the TV show, it's rated MA.
Hmm.
So it's very, very like it's just raunchy as hell. It's like Deadpool level kind of. It's very raunchy. It doesn't hold back, and it's like 10 times funnier. So this is written by Taika Waititi. I feel like Taika Waititi can do stuff that's way more funny, but I kind of feel like he just can only do so much with a Marvel movie, right? So
I mean,
maybe that's what I feel like.
I've heard that Taika has said that Love and Thunder is gonna make um Ragnarok look like it was a kids film.
Really?
I think he said something along
That's
those lines, and I was like,
yeah.
oh,
So
oh, this is about to
I
go
don't know, man. Like
something crazy.
I don't know. That pumps me up. I love Thor. I have my little hammer there, my
Hmm.
Mjolnir.
I
Yeah,
got
Jane
the
Foster
hammer right
as
here. I just can't
Thor.
pull it. I'm holding on to my book.
Beta Ray Bill. I'm like,
Oh, that's right. Christian Bale's supposed to be in it. People say he's gonna be Beta Ray Bill.
he kind of has the nose too. Have you noticed that Beta Ray Bill's nose is kind of like crooked? Christian Bale's the same. I'm like, he could do like a good
Yeah,
Beta Ray Bill, but I want him to be somebody more badass, like
yeah, I can see
maybe
it.
like another god. Like I want to see him as a god. It's Christian Bale.
I mean, there's a lot of rumors
You
that he's
gotta use him
playing this
wisely.
character, he's playing that character. Yeah, we just have to wait and see, really. But let's move on to the next film. The next film it's your film, David. The Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I love that movie.
And
Yes,
all we know is
I
that
love it.
Wanda Maximoff is supposed to have a big role, and
House of M.
your boy, your our boy Sam Raimi is back for another Marvel movie, and
Hell
I'm just
yeah,
like,
he's like the
yes,
best
yes,
director
yes.
ever. He's Hey, Scott Derrickson, that was the name of the director. They were like, you know what? Screw you. We
Yeah.
don't need you. And he was like, what? And they got Sam Raimi, which is like 1,000 times better, which is awesome. This guy, like,
Well, what what happened was they had like a they couldn't Scott Derrickson and like the people at Marvel, they couldn't agree on what the movie should be. Like apparently Scott Derrickson wanted to be more horror. I mean, when your movie's called The Multiverse of Madness, you're talking about some Lovecraftian shit right there. And since he wanted to go the more horror route and they weren't okay with it, they ended up deciding to like to break off, and they both kind of agreed that Sam Raimi would probably be a good idea for this, and that's how we ended up getting like good old Sam Raimi to show up.
Sam Raimi, man. Wow. He should even play it on character. Like, he's like a really good. And he loves the comics. I believe, like, Sam Raimi and. I think it's like a dream come true for, like, Kevin Feige to hire Sam Raimi because he was the one that made the first Spider Man movies. Like, the first superhero movies in the early 2000s, and he did an amazing job. So,
He did.
hopefully,
He
he
did.
sticks around. Hopefully, like later down the path, he decides,
Hmm.
you know what, we want another Doctor Strange movie and maybe another horror movie type of situation because Sam Raimi, that's his thing. He made shit, I forgot the name of this movie, Cabin in the Woods. No,
You mean Evil Dead?
Evil Dead. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got them confused. Yeah, Evil Dead. And I like it.
I mean, they
I
both take
think
place
it's
in a
a pretty
cabin
good
in the
show.
woods.
Huh?
I mean, they both take place in cabin in the woods.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I got them fixed up. So I don't know. Doctor Strange. I am super pumped. I want to see the Scarlet Witch. She has been teased. She could have killed Thanos and she didn't. Why? She can easily fucking take down a character such as Thanos. She's crazy, and I want to see that. Hey, I actually saw like a headline a couple of days ago that this guy, his name is Evan Peters. He's
Oh yeah,
he
he's
was
the
Quicksilver
Quicksilver in
in
the X Men movies. Yeah.
in Apocalypse, Days of Future Past, and Dark Phoenix. He's apparently supposedly to set to come out in WandaVision. Well, they're like maybe he's gonna be a Quicksilver, which I think is good. I really like him as Quicksilver, but I don't think he will. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be portraying another character, and like apparently some people say that he may be playing Mephisto. So maybe you see that's like okay, that's
Oh.
pretty badass. Yeah, so we may see Mephisto. Well, I'm kind of like think about it. I'm kind of bummed about the situation because WandaVision is supposed to premiere this year because Disney Plus premiered this year. You're supposed to have Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out in August.
Mhm.
As far as I know, that stuff they have half of it done, so they may release it. And around this time afterwards, you're supposed to see WandaVision, which
So
leads to
so
Doctor
so David,
Strange.
you're jumping a little ahead, but yeah. Let's let's move on to the TVs since you're bringing up WandaVision. So the first TV show to come out for Marvel is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which essentially it's like where Falcon kind of trying to live up to the name of Captain America with the help of Bucky, but he is getting sort of a backlash from the government, which is when they start bringing in a U.S. agent who is like a more government approved Captain America.
U.S. agent. Yeah, I saw it on the
So
trailer.
yeah, and this is probably their first foray into like television that actually ties in with the movies because all the other attempts were either were non-existent or not really or just kind of like just we're on like just skewing around the movies like that of Agents of Shield, and like I said earlier, they even had nothing to do with the movies, a la the Netflix shows.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, like the Marvel TV shows there, I was never a fan of them because apparently Kevin Feige just wanted to have his own thing. So what was the point of even
Mhm.
funding that television show like Agents of Shield? But yeah, uh, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like as far as I know, before coronavirus, they were apparently done with like half of the show. So they made like
Mhm.
release that and split it into two parts. First part may be released this summer, and the second part will be released as soon as like this coronavirus situation is over, so they can wrap up and they can release it. And I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be a good show. I've never seen. Yeah, I guess this is the first time you're gonna see like a black Captain America, which is pretty significant, right? Um,
So, from my
yeah.
understanding, not just talking about, not only talking about um Falcon being the new Captain America, but also that they might play into I forget his name, but in one of the versions of the comics, there was a there was someone else who took the soldier serum, the soldier super soldier serum before before Steve, who was his name was Isaiah Jones, who was a black man. So and he also survived. So technically, the first Captain America would have been Isaiah Jones, this African American superhero, but they ended up giving it more to Steve because of you know reasons.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Those were the times. These are different times. Yeah, no, like we don't really know. We only know that it's Baron Zemo. He's key. Baron Zemo? Is that his name?
mm,
Yeah. Okay. So
Baron
yeah,
Zemo
he's
is the
coming
main bad
back
guy.
after Civil War. Uh, he's kind of like a mastermind of sorts. I didn't really like him in Civil War because I kind of feel like he really needed to get his ass kicked, and it never happened. So, but I think he tried to kill himself, right?
Yeah, he in the movies the movie version, which is a tad bit different from the books. He kind of like does it as a form of revenge to the Avengers because they kind of like their involvement, especially in creating Ultron, kind of like ruined his home and like sort of left him homeless and like his family dead kind of stuff, which is kind of where he starts planning his little comeuppance, as they say, to the Avengers, and that's how he ends up breaking up. I mean, don't get me wrong, the whole situation is a little um a little questionable, but it was a good movie in the West. I think Zemo was probably one of the, it's like you said earlier, Zemo's that character that we're gonna be seeing in a while.
So was that the point that we like? That was his like. I forgot. I haven't seen Civil War in a while, but the movie, like in the movie, that was his sole reason to break up the Avengers because they ruined
You-
his because of Ultron. They created Ultron.
well, you got to remember they made him part of Sokovia, and in Avengers 2 they blew up Sokovia.
Oh, so Baron Zemo comes from Sokovia.
Yeah, and in the movie versions, Zemo is from Sokovia, and so Ultron takes over Sokovia, sends it up to the sky for whatever reason, and caused a lot of deaths, and that some of those deaths were Zemo's family.
So that's the reason. Okay, maybe I must. I don't think I ever got that part. So that's the reason why Baron Zemo did all this, started the Civil War.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I do remember the Civil War was so the beginning you see Baron Zemo and then he basically gets a little what was it? I forgot, but I think you have to do something with
He
Bucky.
gets the sort of what the thing they use to make Bucky
Oh, okay, okay,
as the Winter
yes.
Soldier.
Now that I remember, okay, so Bucky in the beginning is running away, and Sokovia.
Hmm.
This is like I don't know, like shit. Okay, so they're in Africa. Scarlet Witch explodes a building, and then that's when the government is like, you know what, we're supposed to like control you guys, right? But at the same time, Bucky's missing, right?
Hmm.
So Bucky's on the run,
Hmm.
and this guy Baron Zemo, he's the one that's
Bucky gets blamed
actually
for a murder he didn't commit.
yeah. So he's the one that's plotting all the stuff, and they're pinning it all down on Bucky. I don't know. It's a complex
Hmm.
movie now that I think about it. Like it's just not straightforward.
It is.
Yeah, I don't. Now that
It's
I think
not.
about it,
It's a little more. It's not.
now that I think
But
about it, you're right. I've never actually focused on the Baron Zemo aspect of the movie because I'm like, what? Like, honestly, the only thing that I wanted to see was the showdown, like in the airport. That's all.
yeah,
That's all I remember. I don't remember
yeah.
anything
They
else.
wanted they had to make sure the showdown made sense, and like they weren't just fighting to fight like they did in the comic, because the comic version was just, it wasn't good. The original Civil War comic was not great. Personally, for me, it wasn't that
Really?
great. It was just contrived.
Mm. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna put this shit on my list. I'm like, watch Civil War. I feel like I'm missing a bunch of details, and I feel like I gotta watch it again if Falcon and
If
the
it's gonna
Winter
make
Soldier is
sense
gonna
for
come
the
out.
show, yeah.
Huh? Yeah, you're
If
so
it's gonna
right.
make
Like
sense, yeah.
I totally missed the Baron Zemo aspect. So he has one reason. He's like, you know
Hmm.
what? you guys blew up my city. You guys started all of this. This is so Baron Zemo is a repercussion of the Avengers creating Ultron. They created Baron Zemo, if you think about it. Unless he was
Hmm.
a villain prior to the Sokovia
Yeah.
City situation.
So let's move on to the next show, which is which is WandaVision, which essentially it's, I think from my understanding, Wanda Maximoff trying to bring back the Vision while also doing sort of like these weird like references, not references, but like sort of warping reality to make it seem like the perfect family, a la all these different, well established, like it's kind of basically kind of similar to like say like the classic TV shows that were like family TV shows that we all known from the past, like The Honeymooners, Full House, Roseanne,
Yeah.
Modern Family, all that kind of stuff. And it's just, it looks like it's gonna be like the more interesting and more whack. It's, I feel like it's gonna be their version of like Legion, really, because it's all gonna be
Gonna be
weird and
trippy.
trippy. And and I know a lot of people are interested because they've basically confirmed that Wiccan and Speed are supposedly gonna show up, and they're Wanda and Vision's kids. And you already said your thoughts. You're probably the most excited one for this one, right? Am I right?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Mostly because of Doctor Strange. Like, if
Yeah,
anything,
supposedly tying into Doctor Strange. Yeah.
and I kind of feel like I watched the Infinity War a couple of weeks ago,
Hmm.
and it's like a you just don't really see the development of the character development between Wanda and Vision in the comics that much.
Hmm.
But you do see that he dies. Both of them die in Infinity War, and then Endgame she comes back and she has
Hmm.
like much she basically has lost a lot. She's been through a lot, and I I really like the X Men. I grew up with the X Men, and seeing Scarlet Witch, she's an X Men character basically, and she's gonna like I
Hmm.
kind of feel like they're exploring more of that aspect in the WandaVision show, and I
Hmm.
support it, and I want to see how she's gonna like cope with Vision and him coming back for some reason, and how will that
Hmm.
play out in Doctor Strange too, which is I'd say kind of like House of M, and hopefully we
Oh yeah.
see a. I would be blown away if I see Magneto or something. I would be fucking like just think about it. Multiverse of
I
Madness. This is
mean,
the X Men.
I
They
mean,
can
Evan
fucking do.
Peters, the guy from who played Quicksilver in the X Men movies. I have a theory that they're gonna bring back Aaron Taylor Johnson's uh, Quicksilver, and we're gonna see Evan Peters' version of Quicksilver, and they're gonna basically like hint at the multiverse, and I feel like that's how we're gonna get the mutants, because like it's like the multiverse overlapping.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Like, but you see, you don't
That'd be
like.
crazy. I mean,
What if they're kind of casting a couple of X Men characters we don't know about that may be like teased in the Multiverse of Madness. So when you start seeing like the X Men
hmm,
joining, like during that particular situation,
hmm,
House of M, it's Magneto and Professor X that are like, you know what, she's not well. Everybody's like, we should kill her, and then they're like, no, we should like, she needs help or whatever. So I kind of feel
yeah,
like
man. Who knows? We'll
Magneto
see.
should be in this story. Like, but I don't know. Like, all I'm
I mean,
saying,
I'm with you. It's gonna be a crazy ride.
yeah. But what kind of bums me out is that we're not really sure it's gonna be premiering even this year, which again kind of sucks
Hmm.
because Multiverse of Madness has been pushed till November, even though it's supposed to have premiered in May. It's gonna be a big time gap from
Yeah,
the show WandaVision to next year in the fall, which is gonna be the premiere of Doctor Strange too. So I'm not
Mhm.
happy with that. But unless they split it into two parts, maybe they can make us.
I heard they're gonna split into two parts because of Corona. So let's move on to the next show because we got a couple of shows left on here. Just to like just to end it up. We have the Loki show, which is going to be we're going to be following the Loki that escaped during Endgame, and supposedly he's going to be going up against I can't remember the name of the group, but essentially it's like these timekeepers who are known for keeping an eye on time travelers and stuff, so they don't screw up the timeline. So who knows? That could have a tie
Time
into Endgame.
something. It has
Yeah, I
like
just can't remember
a.
the name of the game.
It has like a little like. Oh, excuse me. It has like a little bit of It's kind of like an abbreviation of sorts. It's
Mm-hmm.
TMV or something. And he has. You can see it on the trailer. It's supposed to be like his. I guess it's like his suit. Like oh yeah, you're supposed to be seeing Enchantress or something, like a character of sorts. I don't know. I don't really know anything
Well,
about Loki.
what I do know, David, is that apparently Owen Wilson is in this show. By the way, the group is called the Time Variance Authority,
There you go.
TVA.
TVA, Time Variance Authority.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like what's his
Yeah. So
face?
essentially, we're gonna be
Owen Wilson.
yeah. We don't know what he's gonna be, but we know that he's in the show.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
All right.
I don't know. I don't really know.
All right. So let's move on to the next show. Well, I don't even consider this to be part of Phase 5. It is listed on Phase 4. It is still listed on there, and that is What If, which is an animated series where so in the comics, What If is like what if this is basically they take a storyline and they change one little aspect of it, and most of the time it'd be we kind of see where this thing would take out would how this would actually act with a certain character. For a lot of people, it's like, oh, what if this and this happened? But all I know is that it's animated, and apparently the first episode is going to be about what if Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. And if you've seen the stills, they hint at that Steve Rogers will be their version of Iron Man.
What?
So in the comics, there was one version of there's this one I don't remember if it was a what if or it was an alternate universe, but it's like it was still set during World War II, and that the super soldier serum kind of failed. So what they ended up doing was making like an Iron Man suit, like a World War II version of an Iron Man suit for Steve Rogers to pilot, and he's been kind of fused into it for a huge amount of years to it. So technically, Steve Rogers in that universe is Iron Man.
That's that's pretty cool. Never heard of
Yeah,
that.
so
So maybe in the
they're gonna
what
do
if
something
they're
like
gonna
that.
be
So
making Peggy Captain and Steve Iron Man.
yeah, and they've announced some other ones too. What if T'Challa was abducted by what if like T'Challa became Star Lord and stuff like that? And I'm fine with like a lot of the things they're thinking about, but one I just really don't want it to be, oh, what if this person and the instead of being like say instead of Peter Parker being Spider-Man, he became Hawkeye. I'm like, wait, what? Why? That makes no sense. There's usually a point to the.
I know, but anything can make sense with proper writing. Shit, Spider-Man.
I mean, you got me there.
You don't know.
I just don't want it to be like, let's just instead of making Tony Stark Iron Man, let's make him Captain America. That's be our what if. Like, no, usually what ifs were always like, okay, it's like for example, there was this one what if where what if Flash Thompson, Spider Man's bully, was bitten by the radioactive spider instead of Peter Parker. It's so easy to say like, oh, they just swap places and this and that. But no, what they ended up doing was that because Flash Thompson never knew the whole with great power comes great responsibility, he ends up being like the biggest asshole version of Spider-Man, and ends up getting Aunt May killed because Peter Parker found out that he was Spider-Man. And he was like, "Dude, I need your help. Let me just take a couple of pictures for you for the Bugle, so my Aunt May can survive a surgery." He was like, "It's all like, no, dude, this is your fault. The reason I'm Spider-Man. I can't even live a normal life anymore." And he ends up accidentally killing Peter Parker, and he kind of just hides away until the guilt just takes over, and he just turns himself in for murder, which is like, wow, that was such a great story. I just kind of want kind of like that for the show instead of just like, oh, what if we just switch out this character for this character? Let's see what happens. Like, no, that's I didn't like that. I don't like that idea. But you're right. It all depends on the writing.
Uh-huh. Another thing, I kind of feel like how they're working on TV shows now that they should tie up into
Yeah,
movies. I think that they
yeah,
should not shy away from animation. What if it's animation, right? And I
really,
would be happy. I would
yeah.
be more than happy to watch the animation. And that would be pretty sweet. Watch the animation, whatever the show may be. Now in times of the pandemic, I kind of feel like animation is much. It's a much better source of just creation because
Hmm.
the pandemic doesn't really let you be with a team. Animation is just you share this and that and whatever. So I kind of feel like right now this
Yeah, you
pandemic
can just
thing,
send each other the stills and outlines of what the characters
yeah,
should do during the whole thing.
I kind of feel like the pandemic is
All right,
it's
let's
making it
go.
more easier for people to work on animation, on graphics, on all that stuff from home, and I kind of feel
Mhm.
like Disney has their own like TV shows coming out and movies and whatever, but I kind of feel like they should kind of push more into like Marvel animation content. So I'd be super excited to see something that is animated. Like What If, that shouldn't take long, and through animation we can explore so many different
It
storylines.
also depends on the process of animation, David. The process of animation could take for a good chunk of time, and from the looks of it, they're going for that kind of like that almost realistic look, and the fact that they're getting, I think, the actual actors to come in and voice the characters, which could take some time. So I mean, who knows? But yeah, I mean, I'll be down to
Yeah.
watch it. I just hope it's not they don't go the easy way route with it. But let's move on
No, yeah,
to
you don't
the
want to see.
our
You don't want
next.
anything.
Sorry. Ugh,
Yeah, I
allergies,
guess.
man.
Just, I know, man. You were
So
saying?
let's move on to the. Let's head on to the next one, which is Hawkeye. Essentially, the show that's gonna be centered around Hawkeye and him training the next Hawkeye, which is Kate Bishop, and that's about all we know.
As far as I know, wasn't he supposedly like charged with hitting his wife or something? And for that reason, like
Yeah, but I think that got dropped,
I don't know, the Hawkeye
or just
show.
or like they just
Yeah, I don't
who
know. Like
knows.
I'm not really. I kind of feel like Hawkeye. I'd
Hawk-
say Black Widow and Hawkeye. I prefer Black Widow because I don't really think I've yet to see Hawkeye actually like redeem itself. Even
I
in
mean, it's
like
kind of
I
hard
was
to root for the guy that just all he does is just throw a bow and arrow.
yeah.
All he has is a bow and arrow,
You have to like write story for him. You have to make it. You gotta shape
and he has a lot of
you
great
know
stories too.
stuff challenges fit for him because if you don't, he's gonna be outshined by somebody else. And you know what? I feel like
Like you
I
gotta you
think
gotta show off
he did
why
say a
he's an
couple of years
Avenger
ago.
level.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm?
Why is shooting arrows? Like, why him? Why is he an Avenger? You're right. You're absolutely right. And I kind of feel like that's what the Black Widow movie is gonna do for
Like if
Black
you
Widow.
read the comics, mhm. Yeah, because like if you read the comics, and you can understand why he's chosen to be in the Avengers, because his level of marksmanship is like crazy good, which makes sense why he would be in the whole Avengers team. And yeah, so let's. I mean, and Kate Bishop is a beloved character now, who is like the female Hawkeye, and she's done a lot of cool stuff. Sorry,
Yeah,
and got
absolutely.
her own books and all that good stuff. The next show they said they're about to do is these next three shows were just confirmed. We don't know what they're about.
She-Hulk.
We can just say like they sound like they're gonna be awesome. One is Miss Marvel, which is
Kamala
Kamala
Khan.
Khan. Hmm.
I feel like that's like too much of a ripoff of Reed Richards. Her
Kind
superpowers
of,
are the same.
not really. She doesn't really. She more in long.
That's
What's
bitch.
the best way to describe her powers? Well, I mean, the whole thing with Mister Fantastic isn't that he can just stretch; is that he's like literally the smartest. He's the smartest dude in all of Marvel. Like he is the smartest. That's why people call him Mister Fantastic, because he can do any. He can really. He can come up with anything. The man figured out how to like figured out particles, alternate dimensions, time travel. I think there was one book where he and the Fantastic Four literally met God, which was crazy.
So you're telling me that there's somebody
But
smarter than Tony and uh
huh?
fucking so so he's like way smarter than Tony Stark, than Bruce Banner,
Oh,
than
yeah. He's like Bruce Banner is like on the top 5 or top 10.
of of
They keep changing it because they always keep adding more smarter people on there.
of the entire Marvel universe or the movies?
For Bruce Banner or Mister Fantastic?
Or both of them, actually. No, no,
I
no.
mean, since he's not in the movies yet, Mister Fantastic, we can't count Mister Fantastic yet. But in the comics, Mister Fantastic is like at least number one, under like Doctor Doom, Valeria Richards, Mister Fantastic's daughter, and I think Moon Girl is in there somewhere. Banner and Stark are like near the bottom of the 10 or in the tens. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But no, Kamala Khan. People love her, and she's been like a great representation for Middle Eastern characters for the Middle Eastern culture,
But isn't Kamala Khan
especially.
Pakistani or something?
She's Pakistani, yes, I think so.
Yeah, but I mean that would be isn't that I would say that that's like South Asian. I feel like if you want Middle Eastern representation, unless she Muslim, is she Muslim?
She's Muslim.
Yeah, so I guess for the Muslim people, but like Middle Eastern representation, I don't think we've ever seen like a Middle Eastern character, like an Arabic character.
Hmm.
And you know what? Maybe Kamala Khan. It's not only about her, but maybe you get to see more diversity, more characters that are like Middle Eastern.
Hmm.
Because I see the Muslim aspect, but
Yeah.
more Middle Eastern. It would be pretty nice to see like Indian characters, South Asian, whatever. That'd be pretty
Oh
interesting
yeah.
though. I don't know, like Kamala Khan. I don't know much about her. Have you played the Avengers game?
The new one that's coming out yet?
Didn't it come out already?
Huh?
Has it?
The Marvel's Avengers game hasn't come out yet.
Really? Why did it take us so long?
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna release September 4th. I'm gonna play that shit. It's gonna
Yeah.
come out on PS4, Xbox One, Google Stadia, and you get to see Kamala Khan there. So maybe, just maybe,
Hmm.
she's pretty good. I have seen like some merchandise for the game, the Avengers game. But yeah, Kamala
Hmm.
Khan. I don't know much about her,
Yeah.
but I'm interested. Let's see what she can do. And
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and we got two more shows to go over.
More shows. What's
Just to finish it off, we got Moon Knight, which is like crazy Batman, I would say.
Okay. I watch it. Yeah, Moon Knight.
Yeah, and then we got She-Hulk, which is yeah, basically it's She-Hulk, who's like the early Deadpool of like breaking the fourth wall, and that one's probably the most interesting one because it could be like not only like a lot of fun, but also like a lot of interesting stuff going around.
I mean, I watch it. Again, anything Marvel, I'd watch. Except,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. It's at this point most of the shows they've announced we don't really know, so we can only go by speculation. And really, there's nothing to speculate with these last three except for like how much we enjoy the characters. But essentially, yeah, that's all we got. We got nothing to talk. They haven't said anything, so we can't really say anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Uh, who? I think they were gonna be casting Kit Harrington as Moon Knight. No,
No, Kit
no,
Harrington.
no.
Remember, he's in Internals.
This is
You're thinking of Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. I thought they were also.
It's either Keanu Reeves, Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter,
Yeah.
or Shia LaBeouf from Transformers. No, fame, sadly.
I don't like the Transformers movies. They're pretty good. I gotta watch Bumblebee. That's
Some of
another
them are
movie I gotta watch.
same, but no. I mean, that's all we have. That's all we know about these characters and slash anything that information that we know. But I think that's about all the what we know of Phase 4 in general. So I guess that's the best place to end it. I guess the episode. I guess,
Yeah.
but it's been I mean, we're both excited. I know Kelvin, even though he just left,
You have to go.
he yeah, he had to work. Yeah, we're all excited for the show, for these shows and for these movies. We have to wait and see where we go with them. But yeah,
Definitely.
hmm so I guess we can end it here. So guys, this is the end of the episode. Be sure to follow us on all social medias from Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Be sure to follow us. Be sure to like us on I was going to say social media platforms, any of the podcast platforms from Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, and Spotify, Pandora, all that good stuff. We're almost always going to be all on all of them. Support us whenever you can. Hit us with the 5 stars if you're on Apple. Support us on Patreon. There's a lot of stuff that me, Kelvin, even some of the other guys here, from David to Daniel to my brother, there's some stuff that we want to do, but we can't do it without having a little bit of cash with us. So even just $1 donation is fine with us because we got a lot of cool ideas to do. And if you are watching us on YouTube, please comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You know how it works. Be sure to follow us in any form of way you can. And yes, that's about it. David, how you had fun with this one, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. It was worth revisiting
Yeah,
this
no,
Marvel stuff.
it's a lot to
haven't
talk
thought
about.
about
I
it
saw
in a
you slugging down.
while. I
You were like,
am busy reading.
yeah, I know, man.
Dude.
I know you've been slugging on it too. I've been seeing them yawn. Oh, dude, man, I can't wait for that movie.
Hey, listen.
The original Star Wars, as they say.
Yes. Yes. I got this book in 2017. Dude, it's hard to read. It's a fucking hard book. I'm not kidding. I was like, damn, dude, why can't you finish this? It's a thick ass book. It's like about 1,000 pages. But you see, the story itself is hard. It's hard to catch up with. But it's because like so many concepts and everything. So I kind of feel like I've seen like
Oh yeah.
the pictures of the characters of all the houses, some of them, and that kind of gives you an idea of like what the movie's gonna be about. And I'm almost done actually. I got like about a couple
Dude,
pages
that's
left.
awesome.
Yeah, so I'm reading that, and hopefully I'll catch up on Watchmen and yeah, Marvel anytime soon. Like I'm looking forward to everything. We need more Marvel stuff. I'm so
We
excited.
need some good DC stuff too, man. I'm telling you.
DC, hell yes, we need DC. Now, Suicide Squad. No, this is supposed to come out this year or next year.
It's next year, I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
Everything got pushed back because of
Corona.
All right, so guys, it's been fun. It's been your good pal David up here or down, whatever, however the layout is for
Yeah.
Zoom right now, and it's been your boy Eli. And if since Kelvin is not here, it's been your boy Kelvin, and hope you guys have a good one.
All right.
We're the Geek Centurions, and we're signing out. Peace.